So that takes us nicely on to what is it that you do? How do you use this in your work? What is your work? Tell me a bit more.
I help women, everyday women connect to their spirituality more. And that doesn't mean that we don't do that sort of stuff like I've talked about. But initially, it's about finding yourself. It's about remembering who you are. A lot of us, we have busy lives. We have been through experiences that kind of shape us and make us forget who we really are at our core, and we start behaving in a way that allows us to survive. And so my work is helping women through spiritual coaching remember who they are, remember what they like. A lot of the time, if you say to a woman, like, what are your favorite things? Do you know, like, shockingly, a lot of the time, they don't know. They're like, actually, I don't know. What films do you like? Well, I kind of like everything. Like and there are going to be women watching this who are like, well, that's ridiculous. It's not. Like, women don't know. What's your favorite food? Well, I like Italian, but okay, well, when was the last time you had Italian? Oh, in 1997. Do you know what I mean? Like, just connecting to the stuff that you really like, remembering who you are, remembering what you like, finding out what lights you up as a human, because especially as mothers, we forget who we are because we are nurturing these new lives. But this is our first time here too. This is your first time here. It's my first time here. I've never done this before in this body. My soul might have been here before in another vehicle, but I have, as a human, this is my first human experience here. So why am I lost? Because I'm looking after everyone else. Yes, I have to, and I want to look after my kids, but I need to look after myself as well. And so I reconnect women with that and then help them find the spiritual modalities that they can do, that they want to do, that lights them up, and not that they feel they should be doing.
Yeah. So how would you help someone like me who is a workaholic? I describe myself as a recovering workaholic single mum with a toddler. How would
Well, it
you?
depends what you wanted. I mean, that's the big question, because what do you want? What is it that you want?
Oh, that is a big question.
Mm. So that's where we'd start. What do you want? Because if you don't know what it is you really want, how the hell can you get there?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
first question is, what is it that you want? I have, I've had a lot of challenging life experiences. I've been in an abusive marriage. I'm twice divorced. I have four children who are neurodivergent. I'm neurodivergent. My last long-term relationship, which effectively was a marriage without the bit of paper, that has ended. I've lost my job. I lost both of my parents. I have been a victim of sexual assault. I just stuff and stuff and stuff and stuff. I've been homeless. I've been through a lot of stuff, and I genuinely feel like there's always something that you can do, but you have to know what it is you want. And I got to a point in my life where, after my second marriage, which was really unpleasant, me and the kids we had nowhere to go. I walked out of a house with bin bags and my four kids and didn't know what I was going to do. Um, and I built a life, and it's an amazing life. But I had that moment of, what the fuck do I want?
Mm,
And if I hadn't had that moment, I wouldn't have had something to work to.
yeah.
Because where do you go when you don't know what it is you're looking for? You can't go anywhere because you're just flailing around. So you have to sit and think, what is it that I want? What is the life that I want to create? And start from there.
Well, I don't know if this is too vague, but I think one of the things that I want is to be more wholehearted. And I think that links in with being more spiritual. So, this is the Cynic's Guide podcast. And when I first started, the whole idea was that I was going to meet all of these hippie woo-woo types. I was going to rip the piss. It was going to be, not disrespectful, but, a little bit jovial. And instead, I've been like, okay, these people are onto something. These people are inspiring and inspired and passionate and happy. I think that's the big
Yeah,
thing is all of the people that I've spoken to are practicing things that make them happy, that they are passionate about and believe in.
yeah.
And I am sitting on the fence and I'm not quite embracing, certainly embracing things a lot more than I was. But there's always that little bit kind of holding me back from fully embracing wholeheartedly in something. So I think if I was to say what I wanted, it's to be able to fully embrace something wholeheartedly. How do we do that?
You have to look at the different ways that you can fall into that. What are the things, what are the, what makes you want to care less about what people think? That's the thing, because I'll give you an example. So, a lot of my friends, and I actually would include myself in this, are hippie woo-woo types. I am. Like, if you came to my house, you would see that. Um, I've lost my train of thought. What was it? So, in the early days, it was quite scary coming out because I class myself as a witch. And reclaiming that word for myself was really quite scary at the time. I mean, we were talking 10 plus years ago. It wasn't something that was, I mean, now you have witch talk and all sorts of things. It wasn't like that then. People didn't like it. People were scared of it. But I knew that that is what I needed to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't care. I didn't care that people were scared of it. I didn't care that people thought I was a bit, like, God, she's lost the plot. Um, because it felt so right. And I think for you, like, what is it that makes you not care? Like, there's something, it's obviously not meditation because you'd be meditating. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something that you have within you that you can embrace, some kind of way of thinking, some way of being, some way of doing that will make you not care what people think. And the reason that happens is because it's actually who you are. And so, I think there's always an element of, oh, it's scary. I'm not saying it's not scary. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm
Mm.
saying you have to do it.
I'm not
And
sure it is about what people think. I'm not sure if that is
well,
what
what is it? What is it that's stopping you from doing it then?
I'm not entirely sure.
So then you would delve into that. So is there something that you can think of that you don't embrace that you wish you embraced more?
Ooh. So I think there's part of it is just seeing other people who are getting something from something. So Reiki is a good example of this.
Okay.
I have had loads of Reiki in my time, and I've heard loads of stories about Reiki and how wonderful it is and how effective it is. And it's like, am I missing something here? Why does it not have any effect on me? So, and there is a part of me that's going, because it's bollocks. It's because how could it do anything? There's not even any touch involved, there's nothing actually happening. It's woo-woo. Um, but there's a part of me then thinking, well, am I missing out on something that other people are getting something from? So it's not that I'm thinking about what other people think so much as I want a piece of what. I mean, for Reiki's a good example, I think, because I I've given it a good go and
Okay.
I don't get
You
it.
see, you say that, but I would argue that you haven't given it a good go.
Okay, go on.
Because in order, and I know this to be true, I would pretty much think that anybody who practices Reiki, which I don't, by the way, anybody who practices Reiki or receives Reiki, which I have, would agree with this, I hope. In order for energy to flow where it needs to in anything, whether it's Reiki or whatever it is, readings, whatever it is, you have to be an open vessel. And if you're having Reiki from the mindset of what a load of bollocks, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
So my question to you would not be, oh, how can you allow yourself to receive Reiki? My question to you would be, what is it within you that allows you or stops you from believing that something that you haven't experienced is real? What stops you from going, interesting? What stops you from really believing it, even though you haven't experienced it? What is it about it that makes you think, what a load of shit?
I
What
mean,
what
that
is
must be an
that?
example.
And I know you can list a load of things, but I'm talking about within you. So what's happened? What experiences have you had where you've had to shut yourself off? What experiences have you had where you've had to deny yourself something in order to keep yourself safe? Because ultimately, that's what you're doing.
There's
You're going, well, it's not worked
cynicism.
for me. I don't understand the science. You're never going to. I don't understand the science behind it. I don't understand the concept. It's a load of bollocks. Now, without being rude, that mindset is not a true connection to yourself because it comes from a place of judgment
Hmm.
and it comes from a place of lack and it comes from a place of denial. All of those things are low energy, low vibration feelings. So if you put yourself on a bed and you had Reiki from that with those feelings, that's imagine that scenario and what you would get from that session and park it there. And then imagine that you went into Reiki and you were like, okay, I have zero judgment. I am open to receiving whatever it is I am going to receive, even if that's nothing. I know that I am deserving of anything that comes from this experience. I am going to lay myself wide open to this and allow it to happen. Now, even if the Reiki itself did not affect you in any way, just your energy and your vibration, the difference between those in those two sessions would be enough for you to get something from that better, more
Yeah.
positive mindset.
And this is the interesting thing, isn't it? It's like what I'm finding when I like through talking to different people and listening to different ideas is it feels like it is for me, it's like a choice.
Yeah,
So very early on, I had an interview with another witch. She describes this experience that she had. She was walking to work and she saw a load of white feathers. And she said to herself, oh, that'd be the angels paving my path with feathers so that I'm going to have a lovely day today. And then another voice goes, or a cat could have just got a bird.
yeah,
And then she describes making a choice of
yeah,
going, well, I'm going to feel better if I see that as angels rather than a dead bird.
yeah.
And I think that's really stuck with me in that there is a part of me that goes, unless I've got hard evidence, I am gonna see that in a narrow, restricted way. And there's
Hmm.
part of me that goes, but how does that serve me? I'm gonna choose to see the magic. And I think this is what this is about.
Yeah.
There's loads of things I don't understand. I haven't got a bloody clue how the microwave works.
But you still put your food in it.
I do.
Mm.
And, I know that it works, and occasionally it doesn't. If suddenly the microwave stopped working, I wouldn't go, well, that's it. Electricity's a load of bollocks, isn't it? But, you know, so I
But
get,
also, this, it also demonstrates my original point perfectly. It's not necessarily, no, I'm going to have all the Reiki people going, Reiki does work. I'm not saying it doesn't. I know it does. I know I've had it myself. Some of my best friends deliver Reiki. I am down for the Reiki. But even if it's not the Reiki, it's that mindset. Even
yeah,
if it's not the feathers that created that magic, it's
yeah.
the mindset. It's not
So,
the crystals that create the magic, it's the mindset. And people ask me all the time, oh, do you do spells? Yeah, I do. Yeah. Can you do me a spell? Well, I don't know. Tell me why you want it. What's your intention behind it? Like, can you teach me how to do it? Yeah, I can. Yeah. But if you're just going to whack a few things in a bottle and stir a pot, you ain't doing shit. You might as well just burn your money because it's all about the intention.
yes,
And that's it.
yeah.
And the intention to connect to yourself. So it sounds like to me at the moment you're having that, you're in that space of, I want to connect more to myself and I want to be more wholehearted. But the 3D part of me is still nagging away, like, well, yeah, you haven't got the evidence. Yeah, fuck that. It's a load of shit. Like, and that's part of the struggle. That's the thing. It's not easy. It's not easy to just go, I'm going to fall into that and see what happens. Because that's not what we're conditioned to do. But if you can do it, even in the little things, then it starts to expand. And it's like anything, it grows and it can turn into something really, really magical. So, my invitation to you would be where can you see more of the magic?
Ooh. I thought there was something quite interesting you said around having Reiki, being open to whatever comes and being open to nothing. Because
Yeah,
I think the first couple of times, at least when I've had Reiki, I have been open to things happening, but I wasn't open to things not happening. So then I was
yeah,
disappointed
yeah.
because I want the big
You want
experience.
the big pow
Yeah.
moment.
I want to
Yeah.
go,
Don't we
oh,
all?
here it is.
Don't we all? But to get the big woo moment, you have to go through the gentle opening moments.
But
You
I'm
know, you don't
impatient.
win an Oscar by just turning up one day and like singing a song.
Yeah.
You win an Oscar through years and years. Most of the time, there's always an exception. Through years and years and years of hard work, through
Yes.
years of no, through years of you're not good enough, through years of you didn't get the job. Years. You don't win the Oscar from just showing up one time and singing a song. You just don't. And I think the instant gratification thing is another side of it because people tend to think, oh, I've got the crystals and I've got the smudge stick. That's it. It's done. It's so not. It's this. And I always say to people as well, they say, like, what is it like to be a witch? And I say, well, it's not that it's a life choice. But it's not even a choice. It's who I am. Like, it never stops. And they're like, well, do you do spells all day, every day? And I'm like, no, of course I don't. Like, I'm a single parent. I've got 4 kids. I've got a full-time job running my own business. No, of course I don't. But the ethos and the belief system and the way of being as a human, that is continuous. And it's a life choice. It's not something you can pick up and put down like the tools that we use. And, you know, yeah, I just feel really passionate about everybody understanding that they have access to it.
Yeah.
You
So
have access.